football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, you know, Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin ain't the only fight going on this weekend. You know, I have had people requesting to make this video, so I'm going to make this video for the fine folks out there because we have a responsibility to cover the sport of boxing and to give the people what they want, like the OJs once said. But listen, man, Isaac Dogboe, Robeisy Ramirez, this is a title fight. This is a fight for the vacant WBO featherweight title, and you know it's top ranked, so you know it's got to be the WBO. You know it's got to be that organization. Shout out to Paco Vargas. But this is a really good matchup because, you know, when you look at the both fighters, I think both fighters have had interesting careers. You know, starting with Robeisy Ramirez, who comes in as the favorite. This is a guy that beat Shakur Stevenson in the Olympic gold medal match back in 2016 out there in Brazil, and then came to the pros and then lost his pro debut. And, you know, he started to get that label right away as a bust, as a hype job, as somebody, you know, as like Canelo, you know, who got exposed, you know, and I don't got to yell at you guys know, exposed. But anyway, ever since he lost that fight, right, he's been on a warpath. I think he's been on an absolute warpath. He's won 11 fights in a row since that loss in 2019. And more importantly than that, he avenged that loss to Aiden Gonzalez in his pro debut back in 2020. And on top of that, Robeisy Ramirez, more importantly, I feel like he's really done a great job of adapting his style to the pros. He's now fighting like a professional fighter. You know, a lot of times Cuban fighters, they may be pros, but they don't fight like it sometimes. They don't really sit on their punches and try to impose their will on the fight and things like that. So I think he's become a guy that he's throwing grown man punches and he's going there to hurt you. And he's taking on a guy in Isaac Dogboe who's been champion, you know, who, you know, came out of nowhere many years ago, won the title against Jesse Magdaleno. And then he ran into a buzzsaw known as Emiliano Navarrete and lost to him twice, getting stopped the second time. And ever since that time, he's been, you know, just building his career back up, you know, getting wins over the likes of Joel Gonzalez in a close fight, Adam Lopez in a close fight, Christopher Pitufo Diaz in a close fight. So he's been kind of fortunate, honestly. He's won 3 close fights in a row. So God must really have some favor on Isaac Dogboe's career. But he's an all-action fighter who I feel like, you know, was very raw when he won the title. He's been working with Barry Hunter out there at Headbangers Gym in D.C. So he's been trying to not be as much of a dog and maybe get a little bit more polished up and more skill, get more like technical boxing skills. So I think it's a great fight. I think it's two guys that have a lot to prove. One guy has been champion. He's trying to become 2-time champion. One guy has never been champion, and he was expected to become champion, you know, in his career. So yeah, with that being said, established on True School Sports, it's a great fight. You got an aggressive, come forward fighter in Isaac Dogboe who's hungry to cement himself as one of the modern day, you know, I guess you could say one of the modern day names in African boxing. You know, right now there's not a whole lot of guys flying the flag high for the African countries, but Dogboe's done a great job over the years being champion, you know, carrying on that proud tradition of what it means to be an African fighter, to be from Ghana, you know, a place that's produced the likes of Richard Comey and Ike Corte and things like that. I believe Uzuma Nelson might be there too, so don't quote me on that one, but I believe he's from there. So yeah, no, they got a proud boxing tradition, and he's keeping it going. And for Robeisy Ramirez, listen, you know, he wins this fight with Dogboe as he's expected to. You're looking at some big fights in this division. You know, you got other champions in the weight class like Fernando Lopez, Mauricio Bronco Lara, Ray Vargas. Whoever wins this fight is going to have to see the gauntlet of the Mexicans, because Mexico runs featherweight. Mexico runs the featherweight division. So, you know, it's a fight where we really got to the featherweight division is going to sort itself out in a major way. And I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a really good fight. I think both fighters, both Dogboe and Robeisy Ramirez are extremely likable guys, and I really don't have a bad word to say about any one of them. They both have suffered adversity in their career. They've been through the fire, and now they're at the highest level where they can fight for the world title. So best of luck to both of them. But These aren't the only guys on the card. I wanted to kind of touch on a couple other guys fighting on this card. The one matchup I want you guys to look out for on this card is gonna be the fight between Jahi Tucker and Nikolai Sekhniashvili from Georgia. I can't even say his name, but really good fight. Jahi Tucker 9-0, coming to you live and direct from Queens, New York. You know, good fighter. You know, he tall for the weight class at 5'11", rangy, can punch a little bit. I wouldn't say he's like a big puncher, but he's got decent pop, okay pop, respectable pop. He's taking on a guy that is a much different fighter than he is in Nikolai Sekhniashvili. Big, strong, heavy-handed Georgian fighter. This is a guy, and we call him. He trains down here in South Florida at Centennial's gym. He's managed by Peter Khan. We call him Nikolai, right? So Nikolai, he's a guy that's doesn't know but one way how to fight, which is to come forward, to really go in there and inflict pain on his opponent. And I respect both these fighters because Jahi Tucker, Nikolai Sekhniashvili called out Jahi Tucker, and Jahi Tucker accepted his call out. So you got two guys with good records. Jahi Tucker's 9-0, Sekhniashvili is 8-1. It's a more athletic mover against a guy who's a plodding, stocky, hard, heavy-handed puncher. So it's a good style matchup. That, to me, if I had to highlight a fight on the undercard that nobody's really talking about, that's not getting a lot of buzz, that's the one you're gonna look out for. And then on the card, you're gonna have a couple of fighters that some of Top Rank's best prospects are on this card. Most of the Top Rank's best prospects are on this card. You got Abduallah Mason. Abduallah Mason's going to be in his 7th pro fight. He's taking on Eric Garcia Benitez. Shout out to Abduallah Mason. He was here in South Florida back in January. I believe January or February. February. He's back here in February. And, him and his brothers were down here. And, I set up some sparring with him here in South Florida, so I had a chance to get an up close in person look at Abduallah Mason. I saw him spar 2 times. Kid is sharp. I mean, kid is razor sharp. Looking like a one for the future that Top Rank really has. That's going to become something in boxing, But he's not going to talk a whole lot. You're not going to really see or hear much from him until fight night. So watch out for him. But you got him. You got Emiliano Vargas. The most skilled, I think, of the Vargas brothers. It's his 4th pro fight already, so shout out to him. You got Dante Benjamin coming off that big knockout win over Emmanuel Austin, tall, long, rangy fighter from Ohio with a lot of punching power, a lot of things to like with Dante Benjamin. And then you got Tiger Johnson on the card. You guys know I'm a big Tiger Johnson fan. I've even gone on record as far as saying that Tiger Johnson might be as good or better in the pros than Keyshawn Davis. So there's a lot of prospects on this card. There's a lot to look out for. You got Jeremiah Milton as well, another heavyweight prospect in his 9th pro fight. So listen, this is a nice showcase card for the most part. You got Joel Gonzalez as well, taking on Enrique Vivas, who's 22-2. So listen, overall, this is a card with a lot of showcase fights, and I would say like two or three real competitive fights on the main card. And I think this is a card that if you're someone who's really interested in fighter development and seeing how guys develop, this is the card for you. Abduallah Mason, Emiliano Vargas, Dante Benjamin, Tiger Johnson. These are all, to me, like can't miss, type of prospects. So, yeah, that's my take on the card. If I had to make a pick for who I think is going to win the Robeisy Ramirez Dogboe fight, I would slightly favor Ramirez. I think Dogboe is definitely a live underdog. But I just think Robeisy Ramirez he's figured out his identity in the pro game, and Dogboe still makes a lot of mistakes, and I think Robeisy is going to capitalize on those mistakes that Dogboe tends to make from a positional standpoint. So I would say Robeisy wins an exciting fight in a close but competitive unanimous decision. That'd probably be my prediction if I had one. But give me yours down below. I'd like to hear from you guys, and let me know which prospect are you guys looking forward to seeing fight on the undercard. There's a lot of good prospects on this card, but I think the fighter I'm most excited to see, it's kind of a toss-up. I like Tiger Johnson a lot, and I like him as much as Abduallah Mason, but I really want to see Abduallah Mason. I'm really looking forward to seeing Abduallah Mason because, I had a chance to watch him spar 2 times, once at 5th Street Gym and once at Boca Powell, against some good fighters too. One fighter in particular, he sparred Eric Tudor, the 54-pounder, because Abdullah's a big 35-pounder, and I like him. I like what I saw from him. I think there's a lot to like with the kid. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing him and Tiger Johnson. Really, I think those are the two that really stick out for me. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.